Hi, I'm Jamie Grube, the superintendent of Groveport Madison Schools, and I'm thrilled to share the pride and the achievements of our Groveport Madison Schools alumni who've come full circle to serve within our own school district. These graduates have excelled in their education journey and have returned to educate and inspire the next generation. Our alumni don't just return as teachers. Many members of our staff are cruisers returning to build the same strong community support in our schools that they received growing up. Their commitment, dedication, and passion for our schools is a testament to their experiences here. We're proud to have them serve as role models for our current students, demonstrating the enduring impact of the Cruiser Nation. It is with great joy that we celebrate their accomplishments and acknowledge their contributions to our community. Together, we can continue to build a brighter future for our students. It's great to be a Cruiser.
So for me, it was really exciting. I actually kind of teared up when I first got hired because I've been wanting to be back for so long.
Dunlow Elementary,
Madison Elementary,
Groveport Elementary,
Asbury,
Madison,
Adelia,
Glendenning,
Dunlow, Glendenning, go Gators.
the old Edwards Elementary.
And then I went to Bryce Elementary, actually.
I love our families. I love being in the place that I grew up. I think I feel really passionately about making sure the kids in our area have the great education that I got and the same opportunities that I had.
It's great to be back. I think once a Cruiser, always a Cruiser.
I have a lot of friends that still live here. My parents still live in Groveport, but just the memories flooded back to me when I came back, and so it was a warm, good feeling.
I was really excited to come back to Groveport. I loved going to school here, so it feels nice to kind of see how things have changed and what has stayed the same. And it's also really fun to tell my students that I also went to Groveport. They kind of can't believe it, but they also act like I went to school 100 years ago, so they can't even really conceptualize it.
I have a lot of memories at Groveport Elementary, like having pizza at Little Italy with my elementary principal. For all A honor roll.
I was at Asbury. We always did honor roll hats, and you got an honor roll hat the very first time you made it, and then every single time after that you got a pin.
We had a little stuffed bear that we would take home, and that was like the Asbury bear.
This was my 7th grade history class, and the walls and stuff were not here at all. And this was green shag carpeting.
Sisters were obviously before me, so I was always the younger junior girl coming along.
In the old hallways, it does feel nostalgic. I noticed that I sometimes almost imagine me at that age or whatever age I was at in that building.
Doing things like the book fair, things that we still do. Field day, I always loved field day.
Fall festival where you got to dress up and walk around the school, the neighborhood. So I was really excited when I found out that like Madison still does that. So I'll be able to partake of that, but now be on the other side of it as a teacher.
middle school, the 8th grade DC trip. I would never forget that trip. So much. That's when I was like, oh, I like this thing called history. Because back then, like, I really didn't have I've always liked school, but I didn't have a favorite subject. With the 8th grade DC trip, I was like, ooh.
Playing sports and softball.
I played soccer, football, baseball, and met a lot of great people that I'm still friends with today.
Basketball, softball, volleyball throughout middle school, high school, and also our drama department.
I was involved in band, and that kept me busy.
Drill team and band.
I was a big band geek.
And on Friday nights, that was kind of our thing.
Dances and football games and basketball games.
It always seemed like even though we learned a lot, we always had a good time with pep rallies and different activities.
Just be a kid, you know, we could dance and yell and just party almost.
Middle School South?
Middle School South.
Middle school north.
Middle School South.
And Middle School North.
When I was able to have the opportunity to come back to Groveport, I jumped on it. I had great teachers. That's a big memory. In fact, when I went back for the 100-year celebration that they had at Groveport Elementary, all of my teachers were there as well. My kindergarten through 5th grade, as well as my principal.
I just remember our teachers being really nice. You know, I remember a lot of caring. It was definitely important, especially being in elementary, to have a caring teacher. And they were very, very, very caring people.
And they support you no matter what you've been through.
My kindergarten teacher, Miss Jackie Moore,
hooked me up with a school counselor when I desperately needed it.
My 8th grade baseball coach, Mr. Sean Clary, he was a very big impact on my life. He was a mentor, still a mentor to this day.
I worked at Groveport once before. I taught 7th grade for 1 year right when I graduated, which was kind of crazy because I was at South and that's where I went. So I was able to be right across from my elementary school, and I actually taught with one of my former teachers when I was at South, so that was really exciting for me.
I had Miss Myers for kindergarten. We were able to keep in contact.
I had a teacher, she still teaches here, Miss Goche. She teaches not the high school, she teaches 10th grade English, but I had her in the 8th grade. And she was also my basketball coach, and I just loved her.
And then again with Mr. Arnold and a few of the other teachers like Miss Kajanik, I helped come back as I kept progressing in school, come back to tutor kids that were younger than me.
Growing up, I never had a teacher who looked like me, and that kind of bothered me. Like, I had great support from my family, friends, but at school, there was never somebody who looked like me until my freshman year, my geometry teacher, Miss Kisner.
I was still connected with my old teachers that I love, and they said you should get back into the school system. I did daycare for a little bit right after high school, so I wanted to see the school side of it. And I love working with old teachers that I've, grown up with.
Mr. Schwindeman, Mr. Cunningham, individuals that had long tenures here at Groveport Madison, they really kind of sparked my interest in wanting to become an educator. The vibe that they had established with their students went further than just the classroom. And it was like you wanted to be better not only academically, but as a human being to make them proud. And so that left a lasting effect on me.
The freshman building used to be the freshman building.
Freshman building.
Freshman building.
Which is now Central.
So just 9th grade.
You graduate high school, you're glad to be done and go away. And how I, with my life, had a career and retired, and I could sit back and keep active and feed kids because I love to cook.
So I've been balancing college on top of working here full time and going to school full time. Brains of my day, like the kids here, especially being at elementary level, the smiles you see of like, oh, this is what I live for. This is what I want to do. This is why I want to teach.
My junior, senior year, I didn't know what I wanted to do before I go to college. Then I was like, well, I really like history. I like helping people with history, and I think schools need more representation. So that is why I came back to Groveport and why I got into teaching.
We have really good kids here, and we have kids that want to do something.
Groveport is a place that can help a lot of people, even if they don't think about their dream at the moment. It adds a big effect. Being in Groveport and learning skills that not every other school teaches, or different classes you might not take other places.
It's nice to be able to, see where we were and where we're headed, and continue to give back to the community that brought me up.
But I'm glad to be here. I live here. This is my community. My kids go to school here. I'm glad to know their teachers. I know they're getting a great education here.
Groveport High School, that's old high school.
The old high school.
And then I graduated from GMHS.
I was the first class to graduate from the new building.
My favorite part about being a cruiser is just having that school pride and being proud to come to work and being part of the Sedalia family.
It's nice to be able to pass on the whole idea of the horse cruiser and the resilience and grit that his story has. To the kids that we have.
I'm a cruiser through and through, so I live by it's great to be a cruiser, and once a cruiser, always a cruiser.
That phrase means a sense of community and belonging to something. Like I said, growing up, I loved my childhood. The teachers were great, the community was great, and that you'll never lose that. That'll always be something where if you need something from somebody, you can call and ask. So I think that's what it really means to me is to have that feeling of security.
The camaraderie, from our football games to our volleyball games and wrestling, and the fact that we have some staff members that went to school here, graduated, went to college and came back. That's what's really interesting to me.
Being a cruiser is everything. It's just a sense of pride, a sense of honor in many ways, holding yourself to high standards.
Sometimes even blazing your own path in a way you didn't think you were going to.
I love that Cruiser is an actual thing, an actual story.
A story about someone who people didn't believe in or thought was one way, but was able to prove that they were something else. And also just the idea of Cruiser being helped to realize his full potential, I think, is something really important, an important takeaway that our students and really everybody can get from the story.
For me, being a Cruiser is just family. I tell everybody it's my home. I love the kids that I work with every day. I love our families. I think I have a great staff, and I love working with them every day.
It's nice. It's like a big family here. We look out for each other. I don't feel like I'm going to work. I just feel like I'm coming to school again.
Groveport Madison means everything to me. I love the diversity in our community. I love the different areas of our community. I've worked on the north side of the district, the south side of the district, as a teacher, as an administrator, and of course being here as a student.
You never know who you're going to come across where they ask where you're from and you say Groveport and they're like, I graduated from there too, type of thing.
Do you want me to add in that I was the 4th generation to graduate? Yes. My daughter was 5th generation. I'm a Rary.
You're a Rary. You know, Mr. Rary was my principal
At Lincoln
Elementary.
I taught at Lincoln Elementary. That's my grandpa.
Ed Rary is your grandpa?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm just very proud to have grown up being a Cruiser and to continue being a Cruiser now as a teacher.
I know what Groveport Madison School District did for me as a young person. So every day, being able to come into this environment, knowing the impact that this district and the educators and the people here made on me, and I hope that I can give that back to the generation that we're helping today.
Go Cruisers!
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 Cruisers!